there's enough of the things turned on. We shouldn't ever see a push block and a drop in the room. And I believe this is the simple sort of start shuffle. It's not the full start shuffle. So starting down there by the near start any road push block, it's not bad. We got the open caves near start ready to go. We've got a good bomb shop already there, as seen by Eat My Steel. So I guess we're just waiting on Sci-Town stream to get moving.
It is a very good bomb shop, and with easy start, I believe the rule on that is you have to be able to go in 2 directions from the start screen. So obviously we were able to there. And it helps prevent some bottlenecks that can happen when you've got the wrong enemy set on the wrong screen.
Yeah, you don't want to be up there on West Death Mountain and Lionels are turned on and everywhere, and it's just a mess.
Incidentally, the book will be available as the Atlas tonight, so it will give you the map to all the dungeons. Early 29 rupees, and I think I'd be going back for an early 8 bombs.
Yep, that would not be a bad idea. Eat My Steel is going to keep moving forward. I think you're right. I'd be going back for those bombs. Oh, there's a door repair
you can
charge.
Still buy a 4-pack.
Zelda's taking all of our money. But yeah, just having those bombs this early, especially when you want to go into that southwest corner and just check on things, you don't want to have to abandon that bomb hole there. It's just not a good feeling. We did see it take any cave.
A good feeling is to have a weapon at last, and that first choose any allows Eat My Steel to pick up a candle that Sci-Town's about to get as well.
You know, it's funny that I mentioned that bomb hole because the any road just went there. Eat My Steel is going to check the one cave that's just painful to get to otherwise over here, and we have a dungeon.
It's going to be level 2, which is a great find because it's a short dungeon with potentially 2 items available.
Indeed. We will throw out there with Consternation, all of our dungeon entrances will be on the bottom row, and they will all be through the south entrance, so our runners at least have that bit of sanity thrown their way. Just not much here. Want to see what this hint is. It's a community hint.
They're mixed tonight. So the hints that we get will be either a community message, which will be something along the lines of amusing or trolly. In some cases, you know, the community will do that. But they'll never be a lie. So if it says Dig Dogger returns with the magic key, that will be a true hint. And Wood Boomerang is going to be the Armos item.
All hail the Wood Boomerang. That was a good check there. Eat My Steel kind of jumping back into that any road, kind of thinking, let's get out of here, but did come back to check that Armos spot. Always good to find the Armos item. And seriously, before you find that sword, Boomerang is a really good pickup. Just able to stun enemies so you can walk through them when they don't have their hitbox. Good find.
Plus or minus 2 HP, there could also be some enemies that roll down to 0 and give you a kill. But I also want to point out, remember when I said I would go back and buy those bombs? You could have done a little more exploring in 2, and, you know, what if the white sword is in there?
It's true.
If that comes back later on, I'm gonna pat myself on the back. I'm just saying that right now.
Depends on what that sword is behind. Candle with a vanilla price, but behind a candle spot.
That won't do you much good, but the bait will be cheap and close to start, which being close to start makes it a lot easier to skip for now.
Yeah, second quest rooms, like you said, but I want to say there's only one bait block potentially in the pool. So we at least don't have a second quest dungeon situation where we might run into the bait block twice.
Good news, everyone! We won't be playing the money-making game tonight because that's too far away from start.
We do have a dungeon find for Sci-Town. I think Eat My Seal just found the large secret. In the 90s,
so rupees, a little short.
A little short, but acceptably so. I'll take it.
With First Quest Overworld, you're still going to have 3 of them, so there's plenty of money available.
Indeed. Sci-Town knows where level 5 is, near the desert. Not really interested in going in without a real weapon. Eat My Steel. Going to go buy a real weapon here, those bombs. Also has the arrows for sale there. We'll see if that's an option. It's also really close to start, so I could see kind of passing them up for the moment.
Just in general, not a fan of picking up the arrows if you don't have the bow first.
You never know, though.
I know I can't shoot them until I have the bow, so the only way it benefits me is in the dungeon where I pick up the bow.
Yeah, but you don't want to be caught without them anywhere. So it's just one of those things. And of course, usually
thing that it absolutely stops me with is a Goma.
The only thing is if you don't get them and it's ever needed, well, really what I want to go for, usually buying those arrows is a good way to draw out the silver arrows. Because the game just hates you like that.
I'd gladly pay 80 rupees to go ahead and get the silvers. But I still can't fire them if I don't have the bow.
Looks like the red Tektites did roll down to 0 hit points, so that wooden boomerang's going to make short work of them on every screen they're on. Sidetown finds level 1.
It'd be a very welcome sight when you're talking about 3 potential items, but still no sword is going to limit your checks, but Eat My Steel is going to have a sword. That wood sword was located at level 3, so it's very accessible from the start.
Sidetown looking around, finding some Wizrobes and Pole's voices here in level 1.
Speaking of things you'd like to have the bow for...
Well, we've got a compass at least. And Sidetown's going to steal that key and just leave with it, probably. Yep. Can't blame him.
Mention where it'd be really handy to have a few bombs. You could explore a bit more. We've seen 1 and 2, which are very connected, and bombs will open up a lot.
We know that sword's all the way over there. Eat My Steel has gone back into level 2. We just found out the ladder is the white sword item from a hint there. And while we're at it, there's a red candle on the coast if you find it. So we're probably not going to go back for that red candle, unless we happen to be in the neighborhood for some reason, but I highly doubt it.
Yeah, you could be going for a raft check, something like that. Why force for Eat My Steel out of level 2? Because only 3 hearts, you certainly weren't worried about the health.
Well, at least we've got the Triforce.
He still has the capacity to do a lot in this level 2 now, and let's see what we find out. We know the ladder and red candle won't be here, but there's still plenty of other possibilities as we find overly caffeinated lamp bolus.
Oh no! In a room with a key too. He's thinking about it, but that room is not going to end well.
I don't mind leaving that behind at all. Maybe a well-placed bomb, you can get away with something, but it's just not a good feel right now.
I'm just going to leave that behind, check out the rest of the dead woods.
Bad news for Sidetown is that he's going in completely the wrong direction to find this sword. He likewise had gone to that left side like Eat My Steel had. Not only did he get that initial secret, but he also paid off the mugger and went up the coast towards that vanilla blue ring spot and was able to get his candle there. But he never worked his way over to the Dead Woods to see level 3.
Does at least finally find another bomb shop up here in the northeast corner of Hyrule. Finally going to get some bombs, which is really good because there's that one bomb wall up here, not to mention the one north of the Lost Hills. Don't like leaving these little one-off spots behind like that.
That does have a tendency to bite you in Randomizer. And, Eat My Steel now working through the graveyard. Of course, Sidetown's been branching out. He's been doing a bunch of FF1 Randomizer lately.
Eat My Steel running to level 6 in the grave area.
Level 6 located as well, and there's the magic stored at the letter location.
Close enough.
We've only seen the one choose any so far, so we don't have enough
Eat
hearts for
Eat My Steel did find the second one. He's up to that 4th heart. Didn't remember exactly where it was, but His life total speaks for
I'm
itself.
looking at Scytown's side. He's near the Lost Hills, is why I'm bringing this up. We know that's where the white sword item is, and it's the ladder, so we want it. But he's only got those 3 hearts because he hasn't run across another bonus cave or been able to dig anything out of a level. And there it is.
And Scytown has that hint too. Eat My Steel, I don't think has visited that just south of the coast item spot yet.
So that feels lousy when you find the ladder, but you have to leave it behind. But perhaps a level 5 location will yield a different result. Instead, it's just going to yield a large secret.
Not bad to have a large secret, though I don't think Scytown's the type of player who's terribly interested in buying a blue ring. Is most of the way there at this point, though.
It's just one of those things, if the circumstances fall right, you're going to be a little more open to it. Speaking of FF1 Randomizer, you got Luput.
Did you check your VOD? The cheap hint was not very useful for Scytown.
Got one who likes to buy hints when they're mixed. The only time I really like them is if they're truthful, because even if they're truthful, that doesn't mean useful automatically. Welcome everybody joining us from Speed Gaming with that raid. You are here for the Zelda 1 Randomizer Weekly. We're showcasing Scytown and Eat My Steel tonight, and still in the early stages as just some initial exploration going on for these runners.
Scytown's going to go up here. Scytown's going to kick himself when he finds out, because that level 3 spot at this point is going to be the last place he looks for the wood sword.
So, when looking for it, he's looking for an open cave. He pops this and knows it's not the sword, but it could still be a level. It could still be a choose any that gives him a heart at this point.
I think Scytown does go with a kind of breadth-first search of the overworld, looking for where everything is. Level 1, almost the exception to the rule, to just kind of go in there, since there are 3 items, including the 2 floor items. But getting all that information is not a bad thing.
1 and 2 are very good for that, the chance to just grab something off the floor. So he's back to start. This might be where he gets his way over to that level 3 spot in the near future.
Explore a little bit over here too, using these candles, using these bombs. Probably gonna buy some more bombs too. Gotta love Paul's voice when he 2 points of damage.
Bombs.
He's gonna go to Candle Row first. I mean, at this point, I feel like level 3 and level 2, because did he actually go to vanilla level 2? He found the 3rd large secret, so he's topped off on money. Well, thought he was going to make it.
I wonder if in his mind he's already been to level 3 and didn't realize he had left it behind.
Oh, because of the bubble, Eat My Steel is trying to boomerang clip to that staircase.
As far as these open locations, this is going to be about the last one.
Yeah. Scytown did pass up the meat with 240 rupees. Not something you necessarily want to go and grab all the time, but there's at least a little bit I would think of. You have all this money. You don't want to keep running into door repairs and lose all that money. Granted, Scytown has seen a lot of caves at this point.
Scytown continues to work up now. Probably gonna screen wrap over to the forgotten spot.
Eat My Steel is putting on a pulse voice killing clinic here with the wood sword.
It takes a good number of hits. Of course, this enemy was designed in the Japanese version to be killed using the microphone on the 2nd controller. If you've never had a chance to see that in action, I'll just say that there is a video from the Angry Video Game Nerd in which they do it. Still waiting on that one to make its way to the randomizer.
Lot of Paul's voice stabbing there.
Especially when you can add a couple hit points to them. And that's enough hearts now. Eat My Steel's gonna have a really good chance at that ladder when we get there.
2 out of 3 chance at it. Just needs to know to even look for it. We do have a map of level 5, though. Anybody wants to try to name that ink blot?
Speaking of liking more bombs, it's expensive for that upgrade, but it's in level 5.
Almost the most the randomizer will charge you for it. That better be worth 6 bombs.
Probably 2.
It's probably 2.
Alright, Psytown's back at start again after he just found level 6. Is this where he finally gets over to that level 3 location and gets his sword?
I think that might be the only open cave he has not seen yet. Little surprised he didn't top off the bomb supply. He's gonna at least check these other caves. That's what he's been doing. Not
Gonna
picking up
leave
the
that
money.
secret behind because he's already at 200. It's not a large secret, but even 30 at this point would put him so close to max money it would almost be a waste.
And that's why I would think this would be a good situation to go and buy the arrows, buy the meat. Not because you necessarily need them, just because you've got all that money burning a hole in your pocket. Spend it.
Very nice job fighting this Gleok by Eat My Steel, and of course I rolled the commentator's curse by talking about it too soon. He was doing a great job dodging it until right there at the end.
The file name was even no restream curse.
Well, you didn't ask for no commentator curse, so clearly that was his mistake.
Alright, we'll put that down. Eat My Steel. No commentator curse next time.
Medium secret of 29 rupees there for Eat My Steel. Psytown's finally going to be able to do some exploration in this level 2. It's also coming in with a key, and that should help. We definitely did not see the fullness of this level 2, but I think we did see 1 heart in here.
I don't think we saw a heart in level 2. We're missing both items out of 2. We do have a Triforce out of it.
Yeah, we definitely saw Eat My Steel get the Y-Force. He went back in, but wasn't able to make too much progress after that.
And thanks to our tech crew behind the scenes, getting us hooked up with that lovely 2-player layout. Sorry it took so long to get up there.
I think this is a throwback to one of the earlier tournament layouts. Of course, these things get revised as more features and things get added, but you see a little bit more limited tracker display there and not having the dungeon numbers, but most importantly we'll be able to keep track of the Triforces, and it kind of tells you the go mode items there. But the back end of this stuff is very interesting in that basically tracker buttons get assigned to display values rather than specific items, so it's showing them both with the silver arrows right now, when that's actually was the wood sword sprite on the other tracker.
That's why that's there.
Yeah, so it's just a case of once the tracker's refreshed, that'll get updated and taken off.
I want to say I saw Psytown pick up a power bracelet, and he did definitely just push the rock near start to get that bomb shop opened up. Still, not, again, with the money in his pocket, not buying those arrows, but didn't really expect Psytown to buy the arrows.
It had to be either in 6 or 2. Because he was in 6 before that reset, and that bomb upgrade in level 7 is inviting, and that takes us to 10.
Yep, you called it.
I mean, when it's that expensive, what are you expecting?
Exactly that.
If it's 100, you got a chance. If it's up to a 120, nah, you're... 110 is still possible, but 120, the game is just telling you it's going to be 2.
Psytown did find a 4th heart at the vanilla take any cave on the coast, I believe, and has now opened up level 4. So that should be interesting.
Well, fivers for Eat My Steel. And another Gliok, but this one's only 2 heads, so should be a good bit easier.
Always good to see that, especially when you can only take really 1 hit. Fireballs do 1 heart out of this thing. Ooh.
A little less room to work with, though, because of that moat and doesn't have the ladder, and not going to quite work out there for Eat My Steel. So he doesn't get the full range in which he can hit that Gliok head.
There's a mugger.
Not a particularly good one there.
It's a bad one. Psytown knows the ladder is the white sword item and doesn't want to give up that heart yet. Definitely don't even have 4 keys to give up. So until we find that any key, ugh.
Troll Handler does what Troll Handler does. And just a fairy left behind for our trouble.
At least it is done. This room is painful. Paul's voices in these Paul's voices are just everywhere tonight. That's never a good thing, at least until you get the bow.
Well, that's not a great room for a 4-headed Gliok, or 3-headed Gliok, but Psytown will have to make do. Doing an admirable job so far. Your main advantage with the Gliok is there's only going to be 1 fireball at a time.
Well done.
Gets the job done.
Stole the key out of there early on too. That was the prize in that room. Of course, bosses don't respawn. Once they are dead, they are dead. So that Manhandler room, that Gliok room. Gliok is the other enemy that's showing up everywhere. Those rooms are going to stay empty.
Oh, Gliok hasn't been too nice in the room selections, though. This is a very Pulse Voice infested seed. We've only had 1 Rizrobe sighting so far, but we haven't seen deep exploration into too many levels yet. This 7 and 4 is as deep as we've gone anywhere.
That was one of the second quest push block rooms you were talking about earlier. Only a staircase for transportation, though.
It's a seed where I would love those wood arrows, but they just don't do any good without the bow to fire them. So we haven't seen much in the way of items, but that's a big one for Eat My Steel. It's the red ring.
Just sitting on the floor in level 7 and fortunately close to that transport staircase. So if you do find that staircase, you'll probably find the ring. Of course, level 7 is just a trolly mess most of the time, so
it was
we'll
a
see.
grindy Pulse Voice room, but all that work paid off.
Eat My Steel.
Why do the hands love to drop clocks? I think they drop more clocks than any other enemy.
I think they do. We do have a Triforce in 4. We found it. Don't want it yet, but we know where it is. That's always good.
It also tells you, though, that you don't have to kill off all that room to look for something.
No, double kill. And without leaving the room, that Manhandle is going to stay there.
Hey, you know what we haven't seen enough of in this seed yet, says level 4?
Paul's voices.
Apparently so, because we got even more of them in this level 4.
Did you hear this? This seed has Paul's voices. You gotta listen close for that. What a disaster of a dungeon.
As weird as this is to say with Pulse Voices, this has actually been them being fairly cooperative. I mean, when you only have 1 tile to walk on, this could be a very unpleasant situation but Scytown's movement has been very sharp tonight.
Eat my
With Gliok in a very challenging room. He's dealing with these pulse voices in a challenging room.
He's back armed with a red ring, though. That will definitely help out. Got the compass in 4, but we already saw the Triforce.
Thanks, game.
Classic randomizer. Ooh, hand grab.
That's
Ooh.
the silver arrows on the ground in level 4.
There they are.
Big find for Scytown, and he's going to take that Triforce and get out of here.
Still a staircase item in here somewhere, but you got one of them. Let's go.
So as far as our go mode now, we know where the ladder is. It's the white sword item. It's 1 east of Vanilla 5. We've got our silver arrows off the ground in level 4. And that leaves us in need of a bow, which is not going to be in 9.
Well, we have a power bracelet. We have a power bracelet out of 2 as well. I don't think we have any leads on the raft, the recorder, or level 8. I think 8 is the only one that's still at large, although we haven't seen 9 either.
You know, you make a good point in that with all of Scytown's overworld exploration, we didn't see level 9. So that just gonna rule out all of the burn bush spots as well as all of the open caves. So unless there's a bomb wall he didn't get to do on Death Mountain because of just not enough resources, that's either gonna put 9 behind the power bracelet or the raft.
I don't think we've seen West Death Mountain at all just yet. Nobody's gone up there north of the grave area. So that's still...
You have to kill my perfectly good theory so soon. There's a high probability one of those items is required for 9. Just give me that. Let me have my moment.
Heart on the floor in 1.
That is a very welcome sight for Scytown, because now he's probably going to make a beeline for the ladder when he gets out of this level 1. Sadly, the red candle does not kill pulse voices, because boy, you'd love to do that right now.
Anything to kill these pulse voices.
Also noteworthy is he's started to get a couple of keys in the bank. If he's able to get out of this one with 2 or even 3 keys, that'd be a very welcome thing.
Making his way up here. This is the Triforce room. It has a Goma in it. It also has a Triforce just sitting there. And without a map, I guess we're just leaving. We're going right back in though. That's good. So like you said earlier, level 1 and 2, very connected dungeons. If there are rooms on the other side, unless there's something like a transport staircase or Zelda's room, you're going to be able to bomb through. The only question is, where do you bomb? The map should be somewhere around here.
The map is usually not going to be too deep in the dungeon. That just doesn't always mean it's convenient, though. And that's going to be the white sword for Scytown. So he didn't spend that much time with the wood sword. Maybe 7 or 8 minutes.
7 or 8 minutes after finding it, though, like, really long time in. Either way, that white sword, a very good find. So that's a heart, a white sword, and a Triforce out of 1. I don't think we saw another floor item, but he'll take that.
Sounds right. There were some Wizrobes in there maybe he didn't want to deal with, although with the white sword it'd be a little easier. But he is also so close to this ladder that if there's any kind of ladder block, that would also solve that issue. He may also really want to get out of there with that key, just to have the 1 extra.
Still hoarding all the money, all 245 rupees.
It's in range that possibly that could be a blue ring move.
It
Could
cool.
also be a rare key purchase move. It doesn't come up a lot because there's going to be enough keys available, but sometimes the distribution isn't great, as Sighttown's going to grab the ladder now, and you just want to buy a couple to open up some of the constraints of the seed.
The keys are a really good thing to buy. That's actually probably what he really is saving it for. Sighttown, definitely one of the better players, is advancing far in a lot of the Battle Royale side tournaments. So, yeah, that's a canny move. Into level 3. We know that Eat My Steel also has enough hearts now to pull the ladder as well. They both got 5. Gleeok returns on Death Mountain. I think that's our first hint at all about level 8.
And the book is in 7. It is an atlas, so there is value. Also, we don't have the wand, so the drawbacks aren't there. That means the book and Red Ring are in level 7.
7 valuable, not necessarily required. 7 just one of those big nasty dungeons most of the time. Although a lot of people will say that Shapes 6 can be worse than Shape 7 sometimes. Ooh, segmented level 3.
That is a 3. That is quite the level 3.
We have a compass sighting in 7. Can't get to it just yet because it's between the double river room.
Sighttown is not getting a break from these bubbles. But he's slowly whittling this down. With those pulse voice, I'd be tempted to dip down in the staircase and see if they change into an easier kill. Especially if it's stuck in the wall.
Yeah, you might need to just go on the staircase anyway to get it out of the wall. I want to say that Keese will never... Oh my goodness, blue Wizrobe. Should have kept the pulse voice.
Well, not ideal, but he's going to be able to kill it, and also it's not going to disappear like the orange is. And he got a Kanana key out of it, so...
Ooh. That's good. Now I saw a compass in there. He's just going to unlock that door.
He wants it to stay unlocked. That's the other important part of the equation.
Oh no. That's just a bad location, but we do have an item. Not what he wanted to see.
It is technically an item.
It certainly is at the bottom of the staircase.
That does appear in the game, and that's about all you can say about it at this point.
Gets a key, uses a key. Oh, shoot.
You can see what a difference the white sword is making, because he just keeps getting through these rooms so much quicker now than we were seeing the progress before.
Eat My Steel gets a compass out of 7. A little surprised we haven't seen that room up there yet, given the red ring we know is at the top row. So Sighttown, I guess, is going to try and Kanana key this door. And with no ring...
He'd actually be better off with the blue Wizrobe for the Kanana key. So, not a friendly room for that at all.
Yeah, it's not even just the blue Wizrobe. It's the lack of hearts, the lack of defense. That's just not a good enemy set in any situation. What is guarding this Triforce on Eat My Steel? Some Zals and some Wallmasters, I guess.
Yeah, I didn't see it very closely. Maybe he picked up a clock so he couldn't get the Wallmasters and had to leave the room to respawn them.
Sighttown is at least buying 1 blue potion. The blue potion was about 1/3 of the cost of the red.
He did not go for the red candle, which is interesting just because it is repeatable offense and it was close.
It's a little out of the way.
Also definitely has enough hearts now to pick up the ladder once he gets that way.
Eat My Steel now up to 6. Just doesn't even know where to look for it yet, though. I don't think Eat My Steel has seen that hint, although he is on the path.
That is a very natural location you're going to go to anyways. He's going to get it without question.
Oh, yeah. Pirouetting that locked door. Getting a nice bomb drop out of the red gorillas, just hanging out right outside level 4 as well. Eat My Steel doesn't know it yet, but the silver arrows are on the floor in here. Just gotta clear out some rooms.
Here, this level.
And yes, with the book, like you said, it's an atlas, so there's your map of level 4.
Thought I would either get a compliment or a groan for that one.
That bottleneck is the most annoying part of it, really. Especially, this is one of the first 4 dungeons. If it is not segmented, and this is not a segmented dungeon, that is... There's going to be no transport staircase. You have to go through that room.
The mugger, unfortunately, a little problematic.
Close to start, at least.
Well, also most likely not required. We just gotta fight through this room first.
Just gotta kill a bunch of red dark nuts with that wood sword all over again.
Chat noting that Sidetown picked up the ladder. Yes, and it is on the tracker accurately. Thank you very much to our tracker this evening. We appreciate you, Freedom Fighter. And he's working through because not all of the labels are accurate. This is a different version of the tracker, so the labels are for the new tracker, the images are from an old tracker. It's a work in progress for everybody, as Triforce in 5 for Sidetown. But it was a white sword item ladder that's one east of the vanilla level 5. That's a good way of putting it. Sprite shuffle tracking. And he thought the night off experience. He thought he had the night off from Sprite Shuffle.
He's just said that one too many times, and we had to throw him the curveball. Eat My Steel at this point, I mean, it was already pretty much there, but this lack of ability to kill Paul's voices quickly is starting to become problematic. Sidetown already has a lot of the overworld explored, already has a lot of good items in the power bracelet, the silver arrow, and the ladder. And Eat My Steel is stabbing Paul's voices with a wood sword.
As I recall, this 4 has a lot of pulse voices.
Feels like every dungeon has a lot of Pulse voices today. But 4 definitely was on the list.
It does have the silver arrows, so this is going to be a welcome sight once Eat My Steel gets it. Cannot bomb in that direction.
I'm trying to remember exactly which room had the silver arrows.
I didn't keep track of it that way. I was lucky I wrote down that it was in 4.
Same. Sidetown, no,
this may have been it, though.
I don't think Sidetown purchased a bomb upgrade. Trying to remember what Sidetown did buy, because all that money's gone. It's probably keys.
He's got 4, so that's a good candidate, but at the same time, Eat My Steel has piled up 6 now. So, of course,
Speaking
as
of
I was
keys,
just about to say, that means the next item's going to be the magic key.
That is what Sidetown left behind in level 4. We'll see if that comes into play, but with those key purchases, probably not so much. At least these pole voices for now are starting stacked up. Got a lot of hits on 2 of them at once. That's certainly a little helpful.
Several ways that they can help you if they so choose. They just don't like to choose that very often.
The benefit here for Eat My Steel is going to be having the red ring so that they won't do 2 full hearts of damage every time you get hit by one. Of course, that didn't really slow Sidetown down very much, so take that advantage for what it's worth.
And beam swords, white sword beam swords just destroy that Gleeok that gave Eat My Steel trouble earlier. But he didn't go in there with beam sword either. It's quite a different fight.
Eat My Steel using that staircase to bring the Pulse voice back out into the arena.
I don't think I have ever seen them get stuck so often in the wall as we have seen tonight.
No ladder. So I think at this point, these silver arrows are probably in one of the lower right rooms because we saw them before the Triforce. And the Triforce we know is going to be in that top right tile on the that sort of lower in this column, just up to a room or two.
Well, this room is required for progress, so Eat My Steel, gotta deal with a lot more Pulse voices, because that is the running theme tonight.
Right now, saving Eat My Steel is that Sidetown is down here dealing with this room, but Sidetown's going to probably clear this room of bunnies. Again, this is reversed from when we were first mentioning it.
Actually. Was this the book?
No, this is a staircase that's going to go into the top right, 2 rooms away from the red ring. So Sidetown's probably going to get that ring very shortly. Unless he stays on the top row and gets the Triforce first and gets out of here. Which, given it's level 7, if it happens, that's probably going to happen. The last enemy has the clock once again.
Must have been a Wallmaster there too. And Eat My Steel realized it as soon as he walked out. But the fact that that shutter door didn't open meant there was more enemies. There's the Triforce. He's gonna leave it for the moment.
This was the arrow room.
The good thing about Manhandla is one lucky bomb and you kill it.
Now, this wasn't the
Bad
arrow
thing
room.
about Manhandla is 1 3/4 lucky bomb and you're in for a bad time.
This is where you said earlier, Manhandla gives us nothing when that fairy dropped. See, did Sidetown find that ring? Sidetown started this green.
Or did he buy the blue ring with all the money? I haven't seen his inventory to be sure of that. Got distracted by the Manhandla.
Damn you, Manhandla.
Chat, any emotes for Manhandla? If you were to express your Manhandla feelings in an emote, what do you got for it? I want to know. Meanwhile, in a shocking turn of events, you have to fight more Pulse voices. There's the book for Sidetown.
So Sidetown now has that Atlas. They're kind of trading what their advantages have been, except Eat My Steel is lacking offense and lacking overworld knowledge. At this point, Sidetown just doesn't know where the Triforce is. There's the arrows for Eat My Steel.
It's going to be a very welcome sight, and now he's going to go straight back for that Triforce and get out of here.
Already has both items, nothing left. Just grab the triangle. Sidetown
has nice appropriate emotes for this Manhandla.
Sidetown has a compass and is going to get out of level 7, and we are back on the road here. Eat My Steel's
room.
Eat My Steel's finally going to find out about the ladder.
find out that the red candle will require the ladder.
So far, hasn't been a need for the ladder, at least. It's the one good thing you can say. There's a map of level 1. It's pretty compact. Sci-Town's gonna get that second blue potion to fill up to red.
Nicely priced. So this one is where the white sword is, so this should be a very welcome thing for Eat My Steel. I mean, for all these Pulse voices he's fought, part of him is probably going to be tempted to throw some fire on the sword when he gets it. The other half of him will just be relieved he got it.
I think there's still a floor item that we don't know about in level 1 as well. I think there's a heart container on the floor, we've got the white sword down the stairs, and there's something else in here.
This cave behind the Any Road location by the grave, and that's going to take Sci-Town up to 6 hearts.
So
Heart on the floor for Eat My Steel.
I think the Lost Hills push block is the only one of those we don't know what's under it just yet. And the only thing that could be useful underneath it at this point really is level 9. Maybe the magical sword. I don't think we've seen it yet, but...
we did. That was the letter cave.
Yeah, there you go. So
that's pretty good considering I did that from memory, by the way.
No, you're right. You did say
I
that
didn't
one.
even write that one down. Eli Steel sees the Triforce in one, but he wants to see about other items first.
Oh, yeah, the compass? Wait a minute. Hint for level 1 inside of level 1. Gotta love it.
Doesn't mean helpful. It's always so nice to have that magic key. It's one of those things you in Randomizer you get used to running without it. But boy, when you have it, it makes a lot of things easier.
I think this is the White Sword Room. How about that map of level 6 on Sci-Town side? That's kind of disgusting. Very linear path going north here.
And there's the White Sword for Eat My Steel. The power of his steel is doubled. Although I guess technically the wood sword isn't steel. So, never mind. Steel is greater than wood. There we go.
That's true.
Chat says 6 looks like a palm tree, and that looks like a recorder in level 6 for Sci-Town.
This bottom right room, I think, is the only room left that can have an item.
And it's a second heart. Which is not really a surprise at this point. So we're still missing that bow, we're missing the raft.
We're missing level 8 and missing level 9. 8 at least we know is in Death Mountain.
We've also not seen the wand. What we do see is some fine folks coming in here from Speed Gaming 3. Hello, friends! Welcome to the Zelda 1 Randomizer Weekly. We're featuring 2 of our fine runners with Eat My Steel and Sci-Town. And we are getting to it, but they're in need of this bow to be able to complete the seed.
Sci-Town now with that recorder as well. Recorders in this flag set do go to cleared dungeons at their new locations. So Sci-Town has the advantage of being able to kind of sprint through the rest of the dungeons and know it will be very easy to come back if needed.
Sci-Town just got maybe the biggest compass of this race because he saw where the Triforce is, and that allowed him to cut off half the rooms of the dungeon. He says, I already saw one item. Well, he's got to check out this staircase while he's here. Just be
He's
silly
already
not
seen a
to.
staircase item, though. Oh, that
You're
was a
saying-
floor item. It's the floor item.
Yes. Like
That's
I said,
where
it
I
would just
got
be
tossed
silly not to check that while he's there.
I could swear he found the floor. The recorder was on the floor.
Recorder was on
That's
the floor. And he gets the Triforce.
Yeah.
And he just saved a ton of time with that compass. I don't know if he would have gone left or right first, but as soon as he had that compass, he beelined towards the Triforce.
And that's exactly what you do.
Now, as far as this bow goes, I don't have anything written down for 2 or 5.
2 had a power bracelet on the floor. Well, I mean, it's level 2. 5, I can't remember anything off the top of my head. 8, of course, is still an unknown, though Sci-Town is at least finally in that Death Mountain area. And finds the last large secret.
I don't
I-
think the bow is eligible to be at 9.
Bow cannot be in 9. It's that.
Yeah, so we're looking
items that,
strongly like 8 or 5 at this point.
Nope, we just proved it's not in 6. We know it's not in 4. A feat of strength will lead to the recorder. Well, we know that the grave has level 6, so technically true.
All out of bubble gum. Should have had bubble tape.
There's a snake in my boots.
I'd tell you, there is few things more disorienting than when you go to stab an enemy you're so used to just dying in one hit, and it's still alive. That is absolutely one of the most disorienting things the randomizer can do to you. When it takes 8 hits to kill a Dark Nut, that's not nearly as disorienting as the Octorok that survives a white sword stab.
Well, I can deal with the Octorok surviving. It's the keys and the gels that are just a pain. Those are the worst because those don't even have proper knockback. Gib
I do not
does on
disagree.
the
But anything like that, where you're just so used to it being squishy and dying to anything, and it doesn't, boy, that will throw you off for a moment.
I think this left screen is the last candidate for level 8.
We've not seen the recorder spots, but you're right anyways.
We knew that level 8 was on Death Mountain. We saw a hint about that.
I missed that. Okay.
Which means level 9 at this point is not on Death Mountain. Which does mean level 9 is either under the lake or across the lake. Or the coast. Ocean's just a really big lake, right?
I mean, I don't think by definition oceans are excluded from lakes.
Rafts are involved. They need something to get there at this point. Unless there's a couple of screens we just completely missed and forgot about. I think we've seen everything outside of those 3 at this point. Unless it is that... Sci-Town must have pushed the Lost Hills push rock. This level 8, though...
He's got the Triforce, the location because of the compass, but he's got to be thinking search for the bow here.
There's 3 items in level 8, and at this point I'm trying to think, what has Sci-Town seen? Sci-Town has kind of left some items behind in dungeons, but does at least have the recorder. We know Ganon is required in this flag set, so there's not going to be a walk into level 9, whoops, there's the kidnap situation.
He's left a couple hearts behind, but as far as items, I think the only thing he's left behind was that magic key.
I'm not sure he found the second heart in level 1 either. He's been kind of doing
a couple hearts, because he doesn't have as many as Eat My Steel does.
He's not going to go up there past the Triforce room yet. Can't really blame him. So he is going to search and find these items. And at this point, he's
My
going to
thing
be
is, these
hoping
Lionels might actually be the perfect enemy to have fire with the wand.
that hit stun stops them from firing their sword, so it's good. Nice easy Triforce room at least. Likes are going to be more hit point sponges, but again, this is the wand plus the fire plus the white sword if you can push both buttons at the same time.
Yeah,
It's
and
going to
he's
be able to
doing
knock them
that.
all
You
down.
can see both the sprites coming out. Flushbach reveals another transport. He doesn't want to orphan this room up here, though. He may wish he had.
My Steel is going to get that magic boomerang out of level 3.
The nice thing about the wand is it opens up that range attack for Manhandla, and it's not quite as trolly then. All that work and all he gets is a lousy key.
Up to 6 keys. So he can build that collection before he goes searching in level 4 for a bow, assuming he doesn't find it here. Although I think we've established the odds are it is here in level 8 at this point.
Yeah, in fact, it's looking pretty likely, like bow and rafter here. Thanks, old man.
Might be useful for Eat My Steel if it comes down to it.
I think Recorder was required anyways because of the Dig Dagger. That was before this transport.
And it didn't look like there was a way to bomb out of that blue Lionel room. I'm not sure how hard Sidetown really tried, but that was one of the only other ways up there.
So again, truthful hints does not automatically mean they're helpful.
Second item in level 3, a heart container. I don't think we've seen that yet, so that rules out level 3 from our search, or at least from the commentator's knowledge.
Yeah, so I think as far as what we have, we've got 5 and 8 for the hunt.
Have we seen a heart container in 2? I know we saw the bracelet.
That's all I have down, but I wasn't necessarily writing down heart containers. What's funny is we found 2 so early.
Oh,
but
3 is ladder blocked.
It did not lend itself to exploration early on. Hello, Patra.
Level 3, our first actual ladder block, but oh my goodness. You've got a white sword and a red ring. Get in there. Blue wizrobes. Ugh.
Alright, so you have to remember to check those second quest rooms. And that's the
There's
bow
the
in
bow.
8. Which is not enough, but definitely required. Well, I say that. You can go check the recorder spot first, but I think if I found myself in this position, you gotta take this other item in case it is the raft.
Sidetown has explored enough of the overworld to know at this point. Level 9's absence at this point is a concern. Now, the recorder does mean you can get back to level 8 very easily. There is that. But once you're this deep in here, what are you really going to do? Sidetown, again, doesn't have that second item out of level 3, so may very well want to get out of 8 and just say, I'm going to come back.
He's gonna take the Triforce out of 8. And looks like he does have to go back to 3.
Yeah,
He saw the magic boomerang, not positive he saw the heart.
definitely did not. That was the key room. He was out of keys. There were wizrobes and Paul's voices everywhere. Just got out of there. That's why he hasn't seen the heart yet. And here we go with the recorder, just going around and seeing where the best place to go is.
Also, with the bow and silver arrows, he can now deal magic sword level damage to many of these enemies, so we are not lacking for offensive power. Chad asks if we found level 9. It is still missing.
Sidetown, I believe, knows it. So either, maybe he hasn't pushed this push rock yet. This is, Sidetown's hoping it's either under here or under Recorder Lake. There it is.
Under there. So the move to leave things behind paid off perfectly. This is probably a move to get medicine. This is where the ladder was.
And this is where level 3 is, I want to say?
Oh, he still needs the Triforce.
Yeah, he needs to get a Triforce out of level 3. And level 3 has this really annoying staircase where you pop up on the top. It's flooded with wizards and everybody else, but now he does have a red ring at least. He has the arrows as well for the Pole's voices. He's still stabbing them with a sword out of habit at this point in the race.
I mean, you've done so many that way.
And after
Habits are hard to break.
After coming through all of this, you have to take the long way around that top loop because that middle room on the left side is a shoot room.
And you commented that just a little bit ago we saw from Eat My Steel that ladder was required for this 3.
There's the key door that he never got past. But Sidetown, of course, has the compass. You see the flashing dot on the screen anyway. Now he sees that heart container. Not that he really needs it anymore, but why not? It's more of a go mode knowledge. Sidetown's on his way to level 9. With 5 keys at this point? Don't know how many locked doors were between here and there.
It's a decent number. You also expect there to be more keys in 9. So it's good. It's going to feel good, not great, if he gets in there with 5.
Not going to complain about 5 keys in level 9.
I think if you can go in with 3, you're going to be okay with it. If it's 2, you're going to feel bad about it.
We kill the Pole's voice. Once you have the bow, they go down so easily. He's hunting for keys.
He's hunting for wizrobes because he knows they're guarding the Triforce.
He's probably saving the bombs at this point just because he knows 9 is 2 screens away. Really 1 screen and a screen wrap away.
A subtle veteran move there for Sidetown. He grabs the fairy. Even though the Triforce will fill up all your health, it's a little slower the more hearts it has to refill. So he does it faster with the fairy so that the Triforce refill does not take as long. And it didn't cost him much just to do that extra step to the side to grab it. Here we go with Sidetown in level 9. He has all the items necessary for go mode. Old man hint number 1 is out the table. It's a community hint.
You can't
cry. There's no crying in Rando.
You can't go north from that second room. Can't go north out of the hint room, which leaves that little kind of snake of rooms. If you can't bomb right from here, especially, very suspicious looking on the map. I guess it does connect higher up. We did switch our audio over to Sidetown, so we are listening for that roar of Ganon. If we're 1 room away, we should hear the beast.
He's given the keys early.
You get excited when you see that single shutter door open immediately, even when and then you remember, oh yeah, Ganon's still alive.
I was thinking more in terms of a drop room. Could it be the compass? It's got coverage up the middle of the map so far.
Yeah, that right side is kind of broken up. Second item in level 8 is a heart container for Eat My Steel.
Well, that gives him the minimum for a magical sword.
Eat My
So at
Steel
least there's that.
Eat My Steel has that Triforce out of level 2, does not have the Power Bracelet, so Eat My Steel has a lot of hunting to do still.
9
Another
is
key for
very
Sci-Town,
generous with the keys.
and a bomb right here in the like.
And you know, this has been a pretty easy enemy set.
Did you hear something?
No, but I have a very low volume.
I'm gonna check this staircase, I guess. Sci-Town is still interested in finding the any key, even with those 6 keys. I can't really think of any other item at this point. Taking this staircase feels a little weird, knowing that there's a
That
few
means
rooms
he
up there.
didn't hear Ganon. Because Ganon would have been adjacent to any of those rooms, so he did not hear Ganon.
There's Ganon.
Well, there you go then.
Was it
In the
8
Green
hits with the
Lantern
white
room.
sword, and that's 3 so far? With the red ring, and especially with the potion, we shouldn't have too much trouble in this fight whenever it comes back to us.
Occasionally buffering problems do happen with the internet. We get used to these fun high speeds and all the wonderful things we're able to do with it, but occasionally, it does not like to fully cooperate with us. So Eat My Steel is working through level 8, needs to get the bow. I believe you had to take a transport staircase that was through here, and it looks like Sci-Town beat Ganon, then up an aid.
Really hope he killed Ganon. Definitely back at start.
Well, we'll find out based on what path he takes.
He's not taking the same path back.
Yeah, this is a Zelda search.
Yeah, I trust Sci-Town to have killed Ganon there. So at this point, we are looking for that room with a single shutter door that opens for no apparent reason. It could be an empty room, but we're hoping it's Zelda on the other side of that door.
Yeah, just the search for Zelda causes you to just go through rooms really quickly. You're not interested in drops, you're not interested in kills, you're just trying to get through it. And Eat My Steel has the Triforce out of 8, but I did not see a bow pickup.
Didn't see the bow pickup. Wouldn't be terribly surprised if Eat My Steel was going to go back in, but leaving there with 2 items on the ground, unless we just missed that bow pickup, and I'm kind of looking for the select cycle of weapons.
Where is Zelda hiding in this 9, and are we going to be able to see it? So looking through kind of this middle section of the level right now.
I wouldn't be surprised if Zelda is on that far right column, just with the difficulty it's going to take to get up there. But that's more the cynical view of level 9's routing.
Well, this is the seed that charged us over 120 rupees for 2 bombs.
It's just whenever you can't get in up on those right side columns, usually the game likes to stick something in them. You're just being blocked for a reason. Eat My Steel's going to go back into level 6. Eat My Steel definitely does have some more Triforces to collect, so not shocked. Not completely clearing out these levels. Of course, without the recorder, it's going to be that much harder to go back to places, especially level 8. So hopefully Eat My Steel finds this recorder out of level 6.
Right now, Eat My Steel has just got to be hoping for something. Come on, game, give me something.
To be honest, an hour and 10 minutes into a Consternation seed usually isn't that much of a go mode as Sci-Town's making it look. Sci-Town just crushing this seed, really.
Zelda showing why she is the hide-and-seek champion of Hyrule.
Can't get over there, and there's the bomb that you can't make. So the only way into those other rooms is either going to be by staircase or going to the right couple of rooms here.
There's a shutter door that stays closed for Saitan, but does it lead us in the right direction?
There's going to be one more room south of here, and then we've already seen the next room. That's not Zelda.
No. But is there a staircase this way?
That's Zelda.
Okay then.
There's this room right here. I forgot about this one. Just north of start.
That is a GG for Sci-Town, our first place tonight with a 110.30. Very well done for Sci-Town.
Hit the GG's out for Sci-Town.
And I think that was a recorder in 6 for Eat My Steel.
Nice. My Steel has the recorder now. That makes it that much easier, of course, to go back to 8 in a few minutes to get that bow. That might not be the first option of where to look, though.
You know, just anytime you're talking about those multiple item dungeons like that, the 1, 2, and 8 always feels so good for exploration when in doubt.
Yeah, 8 is on that high end. You want to go to those dungeons that have a third item, especially with Heart Shuffle. And otherwise,
or just that short.
Yeah, otherwise you do tend to go the shortest one first. Just go 1, 2, 3, 4. Definitely got second quest 4 on my mind sometimes, but you only ever see that with the second quest maps where that one has the extra item. So I think the compass was somewhere in this vicinity. Sci-Town was somewhere sort of in this middle area.
He may have already passed it. Because Sci-Town was just basically able to skip this right side.
I think he was 1 or 2 rooms into it, because otherwise the only way up here is that nice linear column. It's just a matter of where is it.
I'm almost positive it has to be in that one he was just in instead of going this far right up. But what does the staircase yield? It yields another staircase.
Yep. I believe it was
the recorder was on the floor, the wand was the floor drop.
The wand was in the staircase in the Triforce room.
Yeah. Which is under the A.
Yep.
And that's one I was able to remember. What I'm also able to remember is Sci-Town's name. He is our winner this evening. GG Sci-Town.
Hey, thanks. Appreciate it.
How happy were you about that Triforce in 6? I'm sorry, the compass that took you to the Triforce in 6.
Really happy, because I was heading in the wrong direction, so no doubt about it. I appreciated that one a lot.
It's on our mind because unfortunately Eat My Steel did not find it. So, in Heart Shuffle, you left a few things behind. How are you feeling about those gambles? When do you decide to leave something behind, and how much are you willing to leave behind, I guess is the real question.
So, pretty much everything I left behind was in the forest area, so I didn't really mind it. If I was going to have to backtrack, I was just going to go back into the same region and start hammering out which things I still needed to get. Oh, and I did leave a second item in 2. That was the only other one that I kind of just said, forget it. Mainly because I didn't have many resources at the time, so I didn't mind it. When I found the recorder, I was even feeling better than that, because once I found the recorder, I was like, oh, we're good. Let's roll. But yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking in Heart Shuffle to do that, but I still had plenty of items still out there. Ended up working out, got lucky a little bit. But I felt like combat-wise, even with all the bunnies everywhere, I felt like I went pretty good through it. So it didn't really faze me too much.
Certainly we're overrun with them, and then of course once you have the bow and arrows, we don't see that many more of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say the exact same thing. Magically, they're gone after I get bow.
Rando's gonna rando. So as far as my notes, I didn't see a second item out of 2 or the items out of 5, and we know the raft has to be in there somewhere.
Yep. I was grateful to know that 8 was on Death Mountain. So once I found 8, I knew I only had 3 left in terms of Triforces, and can't believe that 9 just happened to be right underneath 3, which another just dumb luck thing happened.
That was one of those we were wondering, did you actually check that already, or was that going to be one of the last spots to check? Because with your early wood sword search taking so long, we knew you had seen a lot of the overworld.
Yeah, so in terms of where I haven't looked, I've got 1 spot on West Death Mountain to go, the recorder spot, and basically Deadwoods, and then rafts. So I didn't have a ton left, but it worked out okay.
What could have been? Were you gonna go recorder spot next, or go look for the raft?
I was gonna whistle to 2 and then burn up the Dead Forest because I still had 3 locations plus the recorder spot in Deadwoods that I hadn't checked yet. So there wasn't a whole heap and glob of spots left though. Just PB in the middle, the 2 raft spots, and then the 4 in Deadwoods and 1 in Death Mountain. So it was gonna be not too much.
Almost 30 minutes, or maybe a little over, to find that wood sword at Vanilla 3. What steered you away from that at the beginning?
Well, I was sweeping to the west at the start and hit all those spots. I hit one, the blue ring spot ended up being a take any road. Took that to the dead end. Found 2 at the dead end. Ended up taking the any roads around. Actually forgot about level 3. And so, not quite sure why my brain never went there, but I was just clearing everything else at that point, and I kind of just figured, if I'm just going to take the scenic route here, I'll just go ahead and see what else I can find. I ended up finding like 6 or 7 levels before I ever found the sword, and then it was just clear time.
Steel is into his last Triforce dungeon with 5. He picked up everything else, but does not have the items. We've not seen him get the bow.
Steel
May
doesn't
have
have.
got the silvers.
Steel has the silvers, does not have the bow, does not have the bracelet. So Steel's gonna have a little bit of a search on his hands in a few minutes. Does have all 3 items out of level 1, both out of 4 and 3. So 2's probably at the very least going to be early on that hit list.
Scythound, what else is on tap for you this week?
We have the Battle Royal final Thursday night at 9. Fry Teeth and myself. So I got that, and we're also doing a thing. We're calling it the Round Robin Rumble with 10 of us. That you face a new opponent each week. You play 3 races, 1 of your flag set, 1 of their flag set, and then 1 neutral flag set. And we're on the 2nd week right now, and it's been a little bit of fun just getting to mix it up with whatever anybody else wants to play against you. And you can choose your different flag set every week. So I played EXO AS19, and he threw a really weird flag set at me this week. So I've been having fun with that too.
Is that a formal battle royal, or is that just a thing y'all have been doing?
It's totally informal. We kind of set it up aside from the Discord even, just because it's kind of just Homer J Smash and Dark Falls and Fry Teeth and I were chatting, and next thing you know, we invented something we didn't know what we were doing, and some other folks joined in, so it's kind of fun.
It does sound fun. Hey, sometimes great ideas are just made out of nothing.
Yeah, I definitely like it. and it's kind of fun to see what somebody throws at you or whatever. Exo today threw, starting with mags and 16 hearts at me, so he's affecting the combat a little bit. It was kind of fun.
Well then, this has been fun, but I guess I ought to ask if you have any other final thoughts tonight.
I don't, but I got one thing. Just want to say I appreciate you guys doing the announcing and our restreamer and just thanks for taking time out for it. This is a lot of fun.
And thank you for volunteering for the restream as Eat My Steel finds a heart container in the stairways of level 5.
At this point, Eat My Steel is not leaving without both items. He's going to be back here very soon anyway.
Yeah, he needs too much at this point, so you can understand that.
Definitely. This is definitely the point, too, where you start sweating an hour and 20 minutes into the seed. You haven't seen the bow. You haven't seen level 9. Not a fun place to be.
We did have Captain Green finish in 2nd place with a 118. And Amazing Toaster on the podium, 3rd place of 120. So not that long ago, just wrapped it up.
Not sure if Go ahead.
I was just going to say, plenty of good people in this field. It's just Sighttown did it that well.
Sighttown is a strong runner of this randomizer. Certainly there, I feel like Sighttown definitely handled the exploration of the overworld very well, despite not having a wood sword. And finding that power bracelet in 2 kind of proved to be the lucky play there. Just didn't need anything else after that. Once he found the bow, he knew just check the overworld spots, already had the recorder.
I didn't recognize that whistle tune or see it on the credits.
I did not recognize that at all. That was a lot of notes. So we're gonna find out what that second item in level 2 is, and at this point, I want to say the raft might be the only other sort of item at large. We've seen the rest.
Yeah, other than that, there's just heart containers. Because, of course, in this case, we've seen the red candles, so it's one of those that's easy to fit within the puzzle of, say, a level 9. But because we've already seen it,
And Eat My Steel, of course, still hoping to find a bow someplace, so he's not going to leave, even if he does find the power bracelet.
it was a short dungeon and you came back here. I think you're finishing this.
Oh yeah, that is decidedly his plan. He's going to go right up the numbers, so it's going to be a while until we get back to level 8. Fortunately, I think we've seen both items in 3 and 4. I want to say he wouldn't have left 5 without finding both items. He's got both items out of 6. He's got both items out of 7, so actually, yeah.
He's only added the 1 heart container, though, so I don't think he saw both of them in 5. Unless he just decided not to pick it up.
No, you're probably right. Still just surprised that he would have left it there. Unless he picked up the raft in 5 and we missed it.
Well, then he wouldn't be here.
Well,
there it is! So 2 had the power bracelet and raft, 1 had the white sword, 3 had the magic boomerang, 4 the silvers and magic key, 6 the recorder and the wand, 7 the red ring and the book, and the bow was in level 8. Ladder was our white sword item on the overworld, and the ladder blocked item on the overworld was the red candle. Now, it sounded familiar that time, but I'm bad at picking it up from the recorder tunes. But I'm thinking that's some SNES RPG something there.
That definitely sounds like it's some sort of RPG. Well, 11 is enough for the magical sword.
So Eat My Steel still is on the lookout for this bow. We know it to be in level 8. I think Steel found 1 heart in 8. Not
That is
necessarily 2 of them.
a little surprised Steel didn't just go and check the power bracelet spot there, because Steel does not know where 9 is.
I guess it's a factor of what's still on your tracker that you haven't been to yet.
We'll see how long it takes to go back there. That's the second one of those hints we've seen, and it was also a dud. And there's 8.
So it's the right play. And again, once you're here, there's no reason to leave this level until you've gotten everything. So
Especially
he's
now.
up when he gets this bow.
So where was that bow? I don't think it was in that little snaking arm on the left side of the right segment.
It was the first that Sci-Town found. I think you had to go up to the room under the hyphen was a staircase, and that took you to...
There's the floor item.
I think that was the second one, in fact. The second heart of the level.
It was. But at least now Eat My Steel knows it's not the floor drop. Eat My Steel can kind of run past any room that doesn't have a staircase potential in it.
I think this was a case where when Sci-Town was here, he went those extra couple of rooms past the Triforce to look for a staircase, and they paid off. Because he knew he could get back to the staircase easy enough. Or to the Triforce easy enough. There it
There's
is!
the
That's
bow.
the bow for Steel. So, throw out everything I just said.
That staircase, I think, went to something in the crook of that sort of weird offshoot snaking section. So Eat My Steel now knows he's in go mode, has all the items, actually does have all the items except that red candle. And where's level 9? We know where it is. He doesn't.
He's probably going to be checking these power bracelet spots now. We did have Homer J. Smash finish in 4th place with a 126.
And this is the only reason I'm kind of worried about him not going to that Lost Hills push block spot. It's there. It's one of those left behind spots now. He was 1 or 2 screens away from it a little bit ago. Granted, it's very close to level 3 still. What are we doing in 5?
Maybe checking where he was on the count.
The only thing I can think of.
Multiple times, so maybe he was just being sure where he was on that count.
Going to 3.
Right, so this should put him right there.
Just gotta line up this screen right.
A little surprised he didn't refill when he was right by the ferry.
Yeah, that would have been very convenient to do.
And my Steel enters level 9. We know that Ganon is over on the left side, And Zelda is pretty near start.
Just gotta break through that wall somehow.
And again, a big thank you to Freedom Fighter being our tracker this evening. Greatly appreciate it. Folks, follow trackers because they really help make the experience a positive one when you're watching these randomizer races. And
Definitely give our runners a follow as well, since without them we wouldn't have anything to restream at all, and that wouldn't be any fun.
Obviously, if you're watching this, you like some of this content, well, they're streaming some of this content, so it's a good source for it.
Eat My Steel kind of at this point working to the left. We know that's the right move. It's interesting how different runners get guided different ways when these blocks appear. Sidetown took the usual sort of go north as much as possible strategy. Really, you're looking for coverage because you're listening for that pig. Eat My Steel at this point probably feels like couldn't go north. I'm just going to keep going to the left as much as I can. Although here's this check down here.
I'm a little surprised he did this one, just because I thought the way he was doing it was going across the left.
Right.
And getting the top and bottom rooms as well.
Correct, I should say, since we're talking about left and right. We know Ganon was sneaky here and hid in one of these one-off rooms. Oh no!
He's going to be able to go up and around to get there.
And once he starts going up, he might continue going up. Especially if he's blocked like this.
Maybe neither is an option.
It's official. The seed hates him. This has got to be frustrating.
Yeah, at this point he's got to be thinking, what else do you want from me, game?
Now he's going to take the transport staircase because he wants to be anywhere but this dead-end section of the dungeon.
Well, we have Third Wolf coming in
Oh,
5th
this is
place
gonna work.
with 132.
I was saying this is going to work because it put him right there in the bottom left corner. It's a dead-end room. You can't get out of that corridor staircase to the right. Disaster. Does this...
Yeah, I'm not
We will
saying
find out if that's a
you
magic
need-
staircase to get him later.
I'm not saying everybody needs to go look up on YouTube the Price is Right, You're Over music, but it wouldn't hurt.
Bum bum ba bum. At the very least, we know that staircase is somewhere up here.
The good news is he's got the magic sword. This is a good enemy set for the magic sword. He's got the wand. Even if it's taking a lot of rooms of coverage through this 9, this is not the worst 9 for time. You're able to work through this 9 pretty reasonably.
Yeah. More bombs. He did buy the second bomb upgrade for that maximum grand total of 12 bombs. And that staircase, I want to say, is one more room to the right. No need for that key with the any key. Eat My Steel is loaded. Go back.
Does he could ask for?
Go back.
Well, he wanted to check one down because
That-
if he could
that's
hear
true.
Ganon's roar from that one room, that'd be the only place he could hear it from. So it's a very solid play.
Definitely a solid play.
It's really the kind of thing that can easily escape you when you're just quick glancing at the map. Now he's in line.
And he knows the room to the left is a staircase. He's just going to check where he can bomb, and will very shortly discover a fresh pig.
And again, this is a case where you could only hear Ganon from one room. Trouble getting that first hit in. He's got the red potion if he needs it. He's got the red ring and is glad for it right now, but is just having trouble getting this hit.
We have a stun lock.
There we go. Had trouble getting the first hit, but he was all set from there. And I like what he did in the end. If you're having trouble getting to Ganon, just go where you know he's gonna be eventually. And let him come to you, especially if you've got the health to do that, you'll always get your hit in.
My steel's going back.
Did he see a shutter door when he was here earlier? No, this is...
Couldn't have seen it.
Starting level. Did he maybe see a shutter door where he didn't kill off the enemies and now he wants to be sure? Like that. But I think he's been up there. But a room like that. Maybe he saw a shutter door that he wants a better look at.
I think we're in new territory right now. Well, there's an item in level 9.
We knew what they had to be at this point.
Eat My Steel, certainly, even more so than Side Town, is out of items to find.
Suppose he left 2 of the Choose Any's behind in that one. So really, I think the only other thing he didn't see was one other heart container on a level 5. And the one that's in 9. Or no. No, he must have both of them from 5. So 2 from 9 and 2 from the Choose Any's would account for everything.
We found Ganon's room.
There is the compass. Probably more or less what Eat My Steel is thinking right now.
Sees the shutter door, gets hopes up, doesn't open.
Plenty of keys were in this 9. Lots and lots of them.
I'm not gonna even check that room to see if a compass drops out of it. Nobody likes the blue danger noodles.
No, and he's got a lot of coverage at this point. There's your bait block. It was in 9 all along.
Fortunately,
if this
not.
net ends, it's going to send it back to the start.
Thought to
And
kill
another key.
just a key.
And more land mollas.
Not gonna kill him.
I just don't think he has that many rooms left. I mean, I think we're talking like a dozen tops.
I mean, it's like we were saying before. It's that little stretch of rooms on the right side, hard to get to.
Oh, he got
Certainly
a bomb wall. That's unfortunate.
Annoying. But I mean, yeah. Where is the compass?
That's a case where to him that bomb wall feels like a good thing, but we know it's not. But we do have Dr. J finishing in the 6th place with a 137, and then Fury SK follows, and he just wrapped this up with a 7th place finish.
Very nice. Have we been here? We have not been here.
Well, Ganon was down there.
Very close, but
The thing to note when you're in this position and you're trying to find Zelda when it's a required Ganon is it's got to be 2 rooms. You're not just looking for 1 room you haven't been in, you're looking for 2 rooms that are connected you haven't been to. So sometimes you just need to pop open your mini-map and figure out, okay, where haven't I been that has 2 rooms?
I think you need to have a lot more second quest flags turned on before you can have a staircase into Zelda's room. So yeah, there's got to be a place where you can see that door, and then a place where that door goes. And kind of the same thing as it was we were saying with Ganon. You need to have a place where you can hear Ganon. Ganon likes to kind of hide in these annoying spots. You almost need to be drawn to those first. And if you find what you're looking for along the way, so much the better. And if he bombs
too far off
to
now.
the right from here, this is going to do it, because he's going to follow this trail of rooms there.
He got his hopes up again when he saw that shutter door. But Eat My Steel's getting close. A little bit of a convoluted path.
I can see it without the magic sword running through these rooms, but when you're looking for that compass, you've got a magical sword, a red ring, kill the Lionels.
Or kill the fire, rescue the old man, and finish in 8th with a time of 1:41:40 for Eat My Steel.
Yep, the GG's out. We'll see if Eat My Steel wants to come in here and say a few words about this seed. Maybe vent a little bit. Actually, one of the better race comments we're seeing here. I think you're laughing at it right now.
That's a good one. Let's leave the runner nameless here. But as you folks will recall, we fought a lot of Pole's voice today. And with that in mind, the comment was added, Little Bunny Foo Foo, take a break for once!
And with that, I think Eat My Steel is joining us. I'm a little afraid what's being typed in that first character slot now.
What's happening?
Yeah, forget the no. It was just a restream curse.
Never fails for me.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you were in 8. What caused you to leave 8 knowing you still needed stuff?
Well, I still had bow to get, and I still had 5 and 6 to do, and that was kind of my thinking. Go do those, jump into 2, pretty much like I did. 8 was just my gamble that, get in, get the Triforce, get out, and yeah, it came back to bite me.
Now, I'm kind of doing some logical deduction here, but if I have this right, you saw every item except for 1 heart container in 9. Does that sound right?
Yep, that's exactly right.
Doesn't always happen. Oh, apparently it was the battle theme from FF4. I knew it sounded somewhat familiar. Chat chiming in to let us know what the recorder tune was. So if you could pick anything you want for next week's flags, what would you pick?
Oh, me? Jeez. How about Sprite Shuffle? That sounds like fun.
You hate trackers is what I just heard.
I like throwing everybody else for a loop. I like the kind of trolly fun stuff like that. I don't know. We don't do enough Sprite Shuffle, that's all.
Oh no.
Well, you had the early red ring. That had to feel nice.
Yeah, that
The
made
rest of the seed happened.
all the time I spent in 7 at least worth it because I got the ring and book out of there. Like Gliok, I died to 5 in 5. Had the Triforce. That was always fun going back and finding that out.
Yeah, those Gleoks early on, especially, you had a lot of multiple, more than 2-headed Gleoks, and I think at least a couple of deaths to them.
Yeah, I was not on my Gliok game today.
They weren't being too friendly anyway. But yeah, nothing to it here other than just one of those seeds for you, I guess, where you just had to find every single item along the way.
Yeah, last location for everything. That's how it goes. You win some, you find every item some other times.
I am out of questions. Any final thoughts tonight?
Well, thanks for doing the restream and the comms and everything, guys. Good game to everybody else for doing better than me. So take her easy. Thanks a lot.
Right, and a big thank you to Eat My Steel for volunteering to be one of our restreamed runners tonight. And if this looks fun to you, join the Z1R Discord. Hey, just jump into one once in a while. I've even jumped into a couple of these over time when I felt crazy enough.
Yep, best way to get started is just start playing. People will welcome you with open arms. Get in here. Don't forget to follow our runners out there. If you really want to follow us as on commentary and Freedom Fighter as our wonderful tracker tonight, feel free to jump in and do that. And as always, shout out to our tech crew behind the scenes. I think we've said everything there is to say about this seed at this point.
It was pretty much full cleared on screen, so not many questions left unanswered.
Yeah.
About the only thing we don't know is if the RAF spots were shops or money related.
Same for that recorder spot. But yeah.
Alright everybody, thanks for joining us this evening here on Speed Gaming 2 for the Zelda 1 Weekly. Hope you had some fun, and hope you'll join us again next time around. Good night everybody!
Have a good one.